Friends, hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the Curvy E Chronicles. My name is Courtney and I'm so glad you found your way to my little corner of the internet. Friends, it is time for us to do something that you all requested and having me show you how I make my tabbed wallet envelopes. So let's get into it. So I will have you know, I do not make these to sell. I simply make these for myself because I enjoy doing different patterns and finding paper that I like and making that happen. So first and foremost, just know that ahead of time. Secondly, I did these are a loose interpretation off of a set of envelopes that I had ordered and used in the past. So they're just, I kind of used some of the measurements that are similar, but I did get a request when I asked you guys what you wanted to see for Vlogmas to see how I created these envelopes. So these particular set I did create using my Cricut, but I don't know how to screen record on my laptop and get the footage to how I edit on my phone. So next time, if I can, as I get better at this, or if it's something that I really want to do further, truthfully, there's a lot of other tutorials and stuff out there, but you guys wanted to see it from me. So I'm just going to show you very basically how I did it, even without using my Cricut machine, because before I even tried it on Cricut, I did it by hand, previously. So these are my current holiday envelopes. I'm going to show you how to not only do it with like a paper cutter, but also like basically how you can do this without a laminator too, because unless you plan on making a lot of envelopes or doing a lot of things, or if you just don't have a laminator, there's no sense in making that purchase. I happened to purchase one a while back with a gift card I got from Fetch. So it technically was kind of like free. So I picked up a laminator and some laminating sheets because I knew I wanted to make stuff for myself. And then eventually I'd get to a point where I'd want to maybe sell things. Not there yet, but we'll get there. Anyway, so what we're going to start with is and I will tell you guys, I don't do this professionally. I am by no means a professional. I just am showing you what you all have asked to see. And I'm just going to show you a really quick tutorial on how you can create these with or without a laminator. Or with and without a laminator, and just kind of how easy it can be. Okay, so you just want to start off with a piece of scrapbook paper. I buy all of my scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. I get them in the big books. They come like so, really nice to have, and I do not pay this price. I wait till they're on sale, usually like 50 to 60% off when I purchase them. And you get the big sheets like this, and you can make a couple different things out of them. And then basically what we're going to do is you want to make sure, however you want your pattern. The other thing is this particular paper is a little bit more flimsy, so it's not going to be as heavy duty as my holiday envelopes, because these envelopes, the paper that I used with these ones was a little bit more sturdy, a little more cardstock like. This paper is not, but I'm okay with that because honestly the flexible paper works a little bit better in my wallet. And these all fit in my Steve Madden, like standard size wallet, if you will. So, we're going to start off by measuring this out. So you can either use a ruler and scissors. I do have my scissors here on backup. Or you can have one of these paper cutters. I got this paper cutter on Amazon for pretty inexpensive, I want to say. It was not expensive. So, we are going to, now you have to be cautious of which way you want your designs. So the 6.5 measurement is going to be this way. So we're going to do a 6.5. We're going to do 6.5. And then we are going to go by 7, and the 7 measurement is this because I ultimately just take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and then laminate it. And the 7 gives us enough space to have the tab there. So we are going to go and we're going to measure out 7. Okay, so that is going to give us a square that looks a little something like this. And we're then gonna, I like to turn my thing here. And just a reminder, I know I've said this a couple times, I'm not a professional. I do not do this for a living. I do not sell these for a living. I just make them because they make me happy and I like to be able to do my own. And the other thing is I do not plan on selling these, at least not in the foreseeable future. It's not my life's ambition. The other thing is you get to see how crooked your paper cutter is when you do stuff like this. So we're gonna leave about a 1/2 inch, and I like to use this side because it's a straight edge. But we want to leave about a 1/2 inch out for the tab, and then we're just gonna reach down and fold and get that all nice and folded. That should equate to about the same size as this envelope. Beautiful. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors. You could do your paper cutter too, but I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to run it down till about, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so from this edge to do my first envelope. I like to do my envelopes left to right when it comes to my tabs. And basically when you do your tabs, you'll just do the first one here and then the next, you'll measure it with the second one so that it lines up pretty decently with your first one. That's ultimately what you want to do, is just make sure that they line up. I did do these on my Cricut, like I said, and that took me a little bit, that was a little more of a learning curve. Normally I have my corner punch, but for some reason it's not working great, so I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to do a real quick rounding of the edges. The nice thing is if you do have a Cricut and you do it on your Cricut, you can, I have my template set up with rounded edges because it's basically just doing a 6.5 by 6.5 square and then adding a 1 inch rectangle or a 1/2 inch rectangle onto the top, so that's what you come out with. So from here, when you have it just in the paper, you do want to write on your tab what this is going to be for. So believe it or not, I do not have a marker, a decent marker out here. I have my Expo marker, which is not great. I don't like using it. You're not supposed to use it on paper, but whatever. So we'll just say this one is for miscellaneous. Now, you could get stickers, you could use letters, you could use your Cricut to write on this. I just use a pen. That's easy enough for me. And then what you can do from here is you can take Scotch tape or packing tape, and that would be a good way to do this without having a laminator or laminating sheets. I happen to have a laminator and laminating sheets. So, I didn't plug it in and warm it up, but this is the laminator I have. I will try and leave it linked down in the description. It does do 3mm or 5mm paper. I currently work with just 3mm paper. Or 3mm sheets, I should say. But typically I can fit about 3 envelopes per sheet. So I will just go in here and stick them in like so. And I try to always line up the tab side with the edge there, and then using the edge of the paper to line that up. And then I would put another one right here and then a third one here at the bottom. Let me get my laminator heated up and I'll show you what that looks like and how I cut it out at the end. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy peasy to get these done for pretty inexpensive. Okay, so now that my laminator is ready, I'm just going to take this and feed it through. This is a really inexpensive laminator. It's not anything exciting, but it does get the job done. Like I said, I don't sell any of these. I just make things for myself. I'm sure there will come a time where I'll get there, and at that point then I will probably, invest in something a little bit more. But this one, I want to say I got it for like $20 a year or two ago. I think last year. I think I bought it last year. But yeah, that's ultimately what it boils down to. And then I waited until the 3mm laminating sheets went on sale and whatnot too. Now, with this kind of paper, it might be a better idea to use like a 5mm laminating sheet. But for me, I didn't want to buy both, again, because I didn't need the 5. I liked the 3. And one thing I do like to do is run through twice. Given that there's only one envelope in here and this actually came out really pretty clean, I'm probably okay. We're going to call it good. But what I'll do is I'll cut this out and then we'll run it back through the laminator once it's been cut out. So we're just going to move that off screen really quick. Let this cool a smidge. Okay, so next up, we're going to cut this bad boy out. So we are going to line it up. So what I like to do is this inside edge here of the little flap thing, I like to line, when I'm looking down, I like to line up the edge of the envelope with that. It gives it just enough of a gap that it's going to maintain the envelope's integrity without it opening back up. And it's also going to give us a nice clean line. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. So we're just going to line that up with the edge of the guide. Do that, and then see, we already have that nice corner right here. And then this is the tricky part, is getting the tab piece. So I like to line that up right where the knife's gonna go, and I press all the way down and I slide it all the way until I get to the tab, and then I lift up and we leave it, because see, I already did kind of get some of the tab with this one. But in doing that, we make sure that there's a gap. So I give myself enough of a gap, and then I take my scissors, and I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I haven't found one. But then I just take my scissors and I run it down the little spot here. It does not always come out clean. I will tell you that much right now. Sometimes it does not come out clean at all. And then I use just my scissors to give myself enough of a gap there. And then I typically use my corner rounder to round out the corners, or just use your scissors. You just want to be really careful in doing that you don't cut too far or too close. But we round out our corners. And then voila. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to pull my laminator back over really quick. And we are going to slide it through one more time just as it is. And voila, we have ourselves a cash envelope. I always take this as an opportune time after I run it back through. Make sure that it still opens. But yeah, we have ourselves a cash envelope that'll fit in our wallet. So I'll take just like my grocery rollover, and it fits right in there. This one seems a little tall, so maybe sometimes it depends on your measurements too. This one just feels a little tall, but money sits right in there, and that would fit right in my wallet. And like I said, you can definitely see that this is a more flimsy envelope by comparison to this one, and that's just all because of the paper. Again, you could use a different millimeter of, use the heavier duty laminating sheets. I just didn't want to buy both. So that, friends, is basically how I make my tabbed envelopes. Really easy. And if you don't have the laminator and you don't have the laminating sheets, you can always use just some masking tape. Not masking tape, good grief, packing tape. And just make sure that you tape around the edges and get the whole of it. And then that actually can help you leave your crease a little bit easier and a little bit cleaner than what mine is. But friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a very simple how-to, just kind of how I do things. Again, I am no professional, but this was a request from you guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out, hit that subscribe button. And friends, until next time, remember to spread kindness like glitter. Bye, y'all.